everybody, this is Andrew Hicks, your Technology Coordinator for the Ubaldini Group. Where we left off in the last video is we added the documents into our DocuSign room, so now we're ready to get them ready and get those signed by our client. That way we can put them into those placeholders and submit them to compliance through command. So we'll go ahead and get started. What we want to do is select the documents that we need to have signed. So as you can see, as you hover over the documents, a little circle in the upper left-hand corner shows up. If we click on that, you can see we get a few additional options up here at the top. Now you can see we've got copy, which makes a copy of that document. We've got move, which we can move it into a different folder inside of the room. We can email that document to somebody. They won't be able to sign it, they'll just be able to see it. You can see we've got DocuSign here, and that's what we're going to be using, but I'll go over the next option here as well. We can download that as a flat PDF onto our computer. We can archive that document, that way it does not display inside of this main room here. And we can also unarchive that document if we're viewing the archive and we need to pull it back into our room so it's visible. So now that we've got our document selected that we want to put into the envelope to have signed, we can choose DocuSign. And what that does is it puts it into an envelope. Now, it means exactly as it says. So an envelope, you can just imagine getting that document all filled out and ready to go. You put it into a little manila envelope, and you hand it to the person who needs to sign it. They take it out, do the signing, put it back in, and give it right back to you. That way you can have those documents. Now for this, I like to name these envelopes with what's inside of them. So right now we've just got that listing agreement, so I'm going to add listing agreement here. Now we can view the document here. If we click on view, it'll give us a little preview of what we're going to be working with here. Now in the previous area within that room, if we would have clicked on this document, we could edit this information if we needed to. We can type all that information in there. And you can see if we scroll down, we've got the area for the initials here. And we've got the area for our signatures and the dates. So that's how we can preview the document before we go through and sign it in case we miss something, which on this we don't have all of the information we need. But if we wanted to type that information in, we would do that in that room. Once you click on that document, you can type in all that information here. So we'll go ahead and close out of it by hitting this little X in the upper right-hand corner. Now we're going to scroll down a little bit, and you can see we can add the recipients to the envelope. So this is who is going to be signing the documents, who is going to be receiving them. So what we want to do is click on Add Recipient. And what we're going to choose that's going to save us a lot of time is if we choose pre-tagged roles. Now what that's going to do is it's going to give us a list of all the people that need to sign it based on the document that we have here currently. You can see that we've got Seller 1. So all we have to do is put who the seller is here, and we'll choose it from this little drop-down menu. It's got all the people that we added in from those details. So you can see Seller 1, we're going to choose Bob Loblaw. And we've got Seller 2, that's somebody who we need to have sign it, so we can choose Kathy Loblaw. Now we can put the Seller 3 if we had entered one in, yet we didn't, so we don't need to. The designated agent here, we can choose who's going to be signing that part. And just to make it a little bit easier, I will go ahead and choose Krista Jensen here. And then we can put that salesman of record in here. Now since I don't have enough email addresses to receive all of these and sign them, we will leave that out, but this will be plenty of information for you to go off of. If we added that person in there, that would just be another person that would need to sign it. So we will go ahead and hit Add Selected. And you can see it fills up our recipients right on here. So a couple of quick things. One very important thing to note is we have these numbers along the left-hand side here. Now what that means is that if it's set to 1 for everybody, that means everybody is going to receive this email, this envelope, and they will be able to sign it at the same time. So let's say if we wanted to have Seller 1 and Seller 2 sign it first, and then once they've signed it, it will be sent over to Krista. To do that, if we change this to number 2, that means that only once Bob and Kathy have received the documents and signed them, will Krista receive it. So that means that these two people will have to sign it first before Krista is able to sign it. So for our purposes, we're going to choose number 1 still. Now, if we need to add somebody else into this room, if somebody else needs to sign it, we can add recipient, and we can do it by email address. So we'll go ahead and choose that. Now let's say we're going to choose Bob Loblaw's dad, Robert Loblaw, and we can put his email on here. We'll just say Robert Loblaw at loblaw.com. So we can change what they need to do. We can have them sign it. We can require that they sign that document. We can choose that they just need to view the document, that it needs to be opened, or we can just say that they receive a copy. So we're going to say that he just needs to receive a copy here. And what that means is that once they've signed it, he will receive a copy of the document if he just wants to take a look at it there. So for our purposes, we're going to close this out because at one point I guessed somebody's actual email address and they came looking for us. So I will not be adding in an email address that I am not familiar with. So we'll go ahead and close this out here. You can remove them by hitting the little X next to each one. You'll have to hover over it first. Then you can remove them from from needing to sign these documents. Now if we scroll down a little bit more, you can see we can change the subject of the email that they receive. We can put in a little email message as well. So once we're satisfied with that, we are ready to go. We can just hit the next button, and that is where we'll be able to add signatures in there if we need to. We can add text boxes, all that information, which I will show you in the very next video. So definitely stay tuned for that, and we'll work through that part and continue with our transaction. Now, just as a quick recap, what we did so far was we selected the document we wanted to send out and get signed. We started the DocuSign part where it puts it inside of the envelope here. We added the people who are going to be signing it and receiving it, and now we're ready to send that out. So you can see that in the next video.